Thanks everybody for being here. It is Tuesday, December 1st. Where did the year go? But I want to thank everybody who is watching live with us tonight, and also everybody who's joining us afterwards on the YouTube video. Thanks for joining us for the Esports Ed webinar tonight. And now I can finally share that we are sponsored by Microsoft. So Esports Ed as a webinar series, we've worked long and hard to bring in some more corporate partners, and Microsoft has jumped on board and given us a lot of help, and we're really appreciated for that. So tonight we are introducing NAECAD. I'm super excited to jump in tonight with probably what's going to be a little bit of a shorter webinar. Not our usual hour and a half, deep dives, but a great introduction to a wonderful organization that I personally am a part of, and that ByteSpeed is now partnered with. It's the National Association of Esports Coaches and Directors. So this, like I said, is Esports Ed webinar number 5. And with me tonight is Jay Prescott. So I'll let him kind of introduce himself, and then we'll kind of dive into the main topic for tonight.
Thanks, Josh. Really appreciate the invitation to be on tonight, and super excited to be partnering with ByteSpeed and Microsoft on an opportunity to really provide more professional development for the professionals getting into the roles of esports coaches and directors at the high school and college level, and really trying to help them be successful as a professional and run their program successfully. Just a short introduction from me. I am the Vice President for Student Affairs at Grandview University. I'm also the Executive Director of the Grandview University Esports program. We started our esports program 4 years ago at Grandview, and Dana Husted is our director there. She was the first female esports director in the country at the collegiate level, and she is doing just an amazing job for the Grandview Vikings and the esports program. Build a roster. She's at 47 athletes this year on campus, running a full varsity scholarship program at Grandview. And my role is to help oversee and administrate and help her be successful as the athletic director for esports. And when we started this program 4 years ago, one of the things that we quickly saw was, when we went out to hire a director for our program, was the esports is so young as a sport and as a recognized, competitive sport at the university level. There just were not qualified applicants for the positions that we had. We would never imagine, hiring a basketball coach with no collegiate coaching experience. I mean, that would just be unheard of at the university level. But in the esports world, that was somewhat common, where it was hard to find anybody with maybe, just a dabbling of coaching, and definitely not, at the university level. When we started back in 2016, there were only 17 universities that had varsity scholarship programs. And, now we're up to, depending on how you count it, we're probably around 200 varsity scholarship programs, and maybe another 200 programs that are somewhere between a club level and a varsity level. And so the explosion of esports at the university level is really making it hard to, find qualified individuals to lead programs. And so way back in 2017, when we started when we got into about midway into our first year, we saw this huge need for professional development, because most of the individuals that were getting hired in these positions had, some gaming experience, had just graduated from, maybe from college, and they were being hired into these positions. And what we saw is that most of these individuals had good gaming experience, and they had, kind of the X and O's knowledge of gaming. But when it came to the 85% of coaching that really has very little to do with the game and the gameplay itself, that's really where the huge void was. And there still is a huge void in that area. And so Jason Bauer, who's the Associate Executive Director of NAECAD with me, we spent about a year and a half putting together NAECAD to provide an association like many other sports have, but it's really an opportunity for the professionals that are coaching and directing their universities and their high schools to get together, to network, to learn from each other, to share knowledge, to inspire, to cry with, to celebrate with. And, that is where NAECAD, we feel, has really fit a need. And we are really, our tagline is equipping to lead. And that's really what we're laser focused on, is trying to provide quality professional development opportunities, both, live conferencing opportunities, clinics. COVID has had a little impact, has had some impact on being able to do those live this year. But then also being able to provide the NAECAD certification program, which are sessions put on by professionals that are in the sport, teaching other professionals, what they do and how they do it, and, giving the association members the opportunity to learn from each other. And so, so we launched this association. We launched NAECAD a year and a half ago, and just have developed a great network of professionals that have really been supporting each other, been providing content, networks, resources, and obviously, Josh, you've been a part of that development even back in your days, when you were coaching and directing yourself. That maybe you can talk a little bit about it from how you saw that as an incoming professional, a young guy getting into the profession, and kind of what NAECAD's meant to you over the last couple of years as well.
Yeah. Like Jay mentioned, I got my start. You guys all know me as the Esports Solutions Director for ByteSpeed, but I did get my start in esports back in 2016 at the University of Jamestown. And one of the big reasons why I got involved with NAECAD in the first place, and we'll kind of jump ahead here into kind of like the history of NAECAD, kind of how things started. I really saw a big, benefit, not only networking with the other coaches and directors that are out there, doing really amazing work at their respective schools and in their programs. But it was just a really invaluable chance to learn. And I was really excited to be able to, share my brief experiences that I had, at the first couple of clinics, and be able to, just take everything in from my peers, and then serving as an advisory board member for NAECAD and kind of helping out with some of the more behind the scenes work nowadays. I think there's tremendous opportunity to be able to really, bolster those applicants that are going out there and starting new programs now, or building up fledgling programs across the country, whether it be at the high school or college level. So it's definitely something that I see a ton of value in, and I hope we can kind of convey that tonight. Jay, do you want to talk a little bit about kind of where things started, and kind of talk about those first couple of clinics and how the vision of NAECAD today kind of came about?
Yeah, well, like I was saying, about halfway into our first year of the program at Grandview University, we saw this need, and we weren't just seeing it on our campus, but as I was talking to other administrators around the country that had either been running a program for a year or two, I was hearing the same thing. And my background in athletics was with basketball. I played basketball at the college level. I coached at the college level and at the high school level. And when I was a basketball coach, I joined the National Basketball Coach Association, the Iowa Basketball Coaches Association. And that is where you really learned from, some of the top names in the country, the people that were successful. And in basketball, there was, many more years of history of the sport. And so, you had some of the top collegiate folks that would come and speak at clinics or conferences, or you could, get a hold of their material, whether it was at that point, it was like videotapes, and, YouTube hadn't quite come on the scene yet, but, but that's kind of how you learned as a young professional. And so, so I kind of took that, that background that I had and just my own learning as a young coach. And we tried to, form that kind of structure and that kind of support for, the coaches and directors that were getting into competitive esports. And, it is really an association for the members, and that's how we have tried to create it. This isn't something that, you would join for really any other reason but to learn and to grow and to get to know the professionals in your field. And that's how we've really tried to structure it. And so at the end of that first year, in 2017, we decided to host the first esports coaches clinic that I think, just focused. Now there have been other esports conferences, but just a clinic focused on providing sessions for coaches and directors, getting into the profession. And so we hosted that at Grand University. We had just over 50 people from around the country show up that year. And Josh, I know you were there that year. Yep. As well. And it was a great time. We had a chance to build friendships and kind of start that collegiality that has grown over the last couple of years. And after that year, both Jason and I, when we were talking about, how esports was growing so much, we started putting together even more of the structure of what is now NAECAD, with the idea that if we hosted a second annual clinic the following year, if the momentum was there and the growth was there, then we'd try to launch the association. So we did that. And in March of 2018, we had hosted the second clinic, and we had just over 100. We doubled the number of people that showed up for the second clinic, and we doubled the number of sessions that we offered at the clinic. And, again, just kind of built on that network, built on the opportunity to learn and to grow and to network with each other. And from there, we decided, okay, this is something that we really need to do. And so that's when we kind of formalized NAECAD. We launched it, and right now, as far as our main focus is professional development, as I've mentioned, and we're really taking two routes of doing that. The first route is the national and regional clinics that we are going to offer. And as I mentioned, unfortunately, COVID has hindered that a little bit. We had 4 live regional clinics set up for this year. We were able to do one in Miami in January of 2020, which was a great conference. It was part of the FETC conference. We provided the esports track for that conference. There were over 12,000 individuals from around the country in K-12 education that attended this technology conference, and the esports track were one of the most attended in the conference. We also launched our esports guide for high schools at that conference, and it was one of the most downloaded guides that just kind of had good information on how to start a program at the high school level. We also have done a guide for the university level that you can find on our website as well. But we did that in Miami. We hosted the 3rd annual NAECAD clinic at Grand University in March of this year. And actually it's the first weekend in March, and it was the last live event that we did on campus since then, as far as, being able to gather people together because of COVID. And we, for the 3rd annual clinic, we had over 150 members show up, coaches show up for that, and literally from all over the country. There was maybe a little more of a concentration in the Midwest, just because of our geographical region there. but literally people from the West Coast, East Coast, the South, Canada, and just had a great time. And we added, I think we almost doubled the number of sessions again last year. I think we were around 30 to 35 sessions that we offered. And again, just continue to grow the network and add it to the membership. And then in June, well, let me back up. As far as the live clinics, we also, in June, we had scheduled our first national convention in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, that was canceled. We also were going to have the first esports, exclusive esports academy and conference and expo in Chicago in October. And we had over 65 sessions planned for that event. But again, unfortunately, we had to cancel that event. So even though we've had to cancel some of the events because of COVID, that hasn't stopped us from kind of laying out the plan for the future. And really the vision that NAECAD has is, again, going back to my basketball roots, USA Basketball and Nike used to put on regional basketball clinics. They did 8 or 10 of those clinics around the country, and they invited the top professional and collegiate coaches to come and speak at those conferences. And we're really trying to model that same type of event. And we would like to, in the next 2 or 3 years, we would like to host 8 or 10 regional conferences around the country so that, people can get together and network in person, but maybe we can reduce the cost of travel. Our network of members now that we have, we're really fortunate that the top names in collegiate esports are a part of NAECAD, and they're so willing. And I think that's one of the best parts about, at least what I've enjoyed about NAECAD, is getting to know how invested the professionals are in helping their sport grow. And that is just something that it's something I think somewhat unique to esports, but it's also something that esports really needs because there are so many moving parts. It's such an evolution of a young sport that we really need those that are highly invested and passionate about their sport to be willing to share their knowledge and their experience, because there just isn't a lot of that out there. So that's kind of the vision for the conferences and clinics, and actually probably a good thing about COVID, because we haven't been able to go and put on these events. It's actually given us more time to build partnerships with people that want to host clinics in their region. And actually, we just had a meeting today kind of laying out some of the places that we hope to be able to bring clinics to in the coming years post-COVID, and when we can get back to traveling safely. And we think it's just going to be outstanding, as far as being able to provide those types of experience with that. So that's the one area that we're focused on with the clinics and the live conference to help with the professional development. And then obviously, one that we launched, the NAECAD certification program in June of 2020. And what the certification program is trying to accomplish is kind of organizing and legitimizing the learning that the young professionals are accomplishing. And so there are other sports that we've learned from, soccer, volleyball, wrestling. They all have different certification programs that you either have to take or you need to take to show that you have gained a certain level of expertise, a certain level of knowledge. And that is very helpful for administrators like myself who have to hire people for directing positions or coaching positions. As I mentioned earlier, our first couple of times that we had to post jobs and people started applying, they could present a resume, but the resume was very shallow. There just wasn't a lot there as far as experience. And what NAECAD has tried to do is, with the certification program, is provide learning sessions covering a wide range of topics. Right now we have 35 sessions that are on our certification program. And these sessions deal with all aspects of running a program, all aspects of coaching and directing programs, anything from, budgets to recruiting to gameplay to conference play to teamwork, nutrition, how to train esports athletes, how to develop them successfully in academics, mental health issues. There's just a wide range of topics that our certification program covers. Our goal is to expand that library of sessions this year from 35. We'd like to get up to 100 sessions by this time next year. And I think that's very doable. It's a little harder since some of our live clinics have been canceled, but we're very confident, and we've seen a good response to, people now that they kind of know virtual that much more because of what we've had to deal with the last 9 months with COVID. We're able to develop these sessions even if we're not having live events. So, and then with these sessions, our members can take these sessions, and the sessions consist of a video capture of a lecture on a topic and a PowerPoint and notes about the subject content. And then at the end of the session, you have to take an assessment, and it's somewhere between a 10 and 15 point assessment. And you have to score at 80% or better to show that you learned something from the content. And then after you pass at 80%, and you can take it as many times as you want. We're not trying to, have people fail. We just want people to learn. And then once you pass the course, you get a credit for that course, and it goes on your electronic transcript. And so it gives you an opportunity to organize the learning that you're doing within the NAECAD certification program. And so for a young professional, that can mean a lot. And it can mean a lot to somebody like me as an administrator hiring young professionals, that now when you apply for a position, instead of just sending in a resume, you can also send in a transcript of all the sessions that you have taken within the NAECAD certification program. And you can actually show administrators that you are passionate about your learning, you're dedicated to your growth as a professional, and you're part of an association that is serious about, helping others grow and learn. And so we've just started that. We feel good about what we have so far. Josh, I know you've taken some of the sessions. You've actually
we'll have some screenshots in here of I went through and pulled what those kind of courses look like so that we can kind of show everybody. And it's been a really great platform to go through and go through all of the different subjects that are represented with classes and be able to learn from really smart people about a lot of different things. And I think that's a really good benefit to being a part of the association, and kind of leads into some of the other benefits. We talked about the certification platform, but Jay, do you want to kind of touch on some of the other things that NAECAD does that are reasons why you should join, or the benefits that you might get from having a membership with the overall group?
Yes, absolutely, Josh. I mentioned the NAECAD certification program, and as I said, we're going to grow the library there to the cool parts as far as NAECAD growing this year is that we are, daily getting feedback from our members on areas that they would like more education. And so we're able to respond, to the needs of our membership. And so, if somebody wants a more in-depth session on how to recruit and how to recruit productively, we will develop that session, because we know if one person is asking for it, there might be 100 people that, would like to take that session. So we're really committed to growing that library of courses. One of the other things that, is important to any association is the publications and the services and just the content that we can get out and we can create for our members. We started our newsletter last month, and that'll be a monthly newsletter where we will be highlighting member programs around the country at the university and high school level. So it gives an opportunity for directors and coaches to kind of brag about some of the things that they're doing in their program, or something that's maybe specific to them that I can see, and maybe I can steal from them to build into my program and become better as a coach. We have obviously we have a Discord channel that a lot of people, share their expertise on that. We have a job board. If you have job openings, either as an administrator or a director, as a member, you can post on our job board, and we'll advertise it for you. We'll push it out, help you find people. And then just the networking, and this has been fun for me, Josh, is that as I get emails and, contacts asking about, how do I get into coaching, or how do I find a job, or do you know of somebody that, I could reach out to about an opening that I have, just all those types of things. I talked to a guy, he's actually a student, and he's running a student run club out on the East Coast. I talked to him last week, and he was talking about all the neat things that he is doing in his student run club. And he was talking about joining NAECAD, and actually he had joined, and I was talking to him about, what we could do for, we have professional membership dues, but we also want to start creating student memberships, because most professional organizations do have a student rate to become a member, people that are passionate as students that know they want to become a coach or director in the future. And so I was talking to this young man about it, and he was talking about all the things that he was doing in his program. And I said, I'll just tell you right now that after this conversation, one of the benefits of joining NAECAD is that now I know you, and I know what you're doing at your university. And as soon as a university position opens up somewhere in the country after you graduate, it'll be very easy for me to reach out to you and say, here's a position that you need to go after. Yeah. And to me, that is something that, NAECAD, I think, will really help its members, find positions that are good fits for them, because we are getting to know, we are getting to know the different levels of programs around the country, the different commitment of those institutions, to their coaching staffs, to their budgets. And, I think that we can provide quite a voice to, to people that are looking for those different positions. So that networking piece really becomes big, I think, as this sport grows. And then I mentioned a little about the national conventions, but, you also have on there the awards. And we committed right from the start. This was something that we thought that was very important. A lot of associations do this, but we are giving out a monthly player of the month award at the high school level and the university level. And then at the end of the year, we select all Americans at the high school level and at the university level, as well as a player of the year and a coach of the year and director of the year at both the high school and university level. And that was a lot of fun last year. Just a lot of, there's a lot of deserving people out there that are working really hard. And it's just a way as an association to honor them, and to lift them up and to encourage them in the profession. And we are also going to do that at our national convention each year, as people in the certification program. If you earn 10 credits, you can earn a learning level 1 certificate. And if you earn 10 more credits, you can earn a learning level 2 certificate, and so on. And so by encouraging people to engage in their professional development, we are also going to honor those and recognize those professionals that have reached different levels of certification as they grow. And we just think that's important, so that people can be successful. You only, even at my age, you can learn something new every day, and it's exciting to learn something new and to help each other do that. That's just really, really exciting. And then, like a lot of associations, we offer personal liability insurance. As a coach, that can be really important. Just dealing with young men and women in our programs, and just the things that can, potentially happen, and we can provide some support that way. And then in the discount program, last month, we launched the NAECAD resource program. that ByteSpeed is a big part of. And what this is, the resource program is really trying, again, organize resources that, you know, you as a director or a coach or even an administrator looking to start a program, organizing the resources that you need to maybe build your arena, organize your arena, equip your arena, as well as, you know, just all of the other things that go into starting a program, different services that are available, different evaluation tools. And I always go back to 4 years ago when I was just starting, I had to go out and do all that on my own. And Josh, you probably had to up at Jamestown too. You know, you had to go out and you had to find all these people. And what NAECAD has done, and again, just over our years of experience and getting to know the top people in the industry, you know, we have vetted the people that in the companies that are in our resource program. And, you know, I'm very confident as the executive director of NAECAD that when I talk about ByteSpeed and what Josh and Anna are doing, you know, with their company and how they're not just selling products, but they are invested in seeing this sport grow. Those are the kind of people and the kind of companies that we want to be a part of NAECAD and to partner with, because when I recommend ByteSpeed, I know that Josh is going to give top level advice because he has experience in the industry. He has directing and coaching experience like most people do not. But he also is just a great guy and he has great products, and we've used their products and we have, you know, gotten to know them. And that, again, that's just something that there's a lot of different ways of going about it, but NAECAD has organized those and we're building those partnerships on a monthly basis. And we feel really good about where we're at with some of those discount programs that we're able to offer our members.
Awesome. Yeah. Ton of great reasons to join and benefits once you're a member. I do kind of want to run through quickly what the actual NAECAD learning platform, the certification program looks like. So I just have a couple of screenshots to show everybody. You know, this is an online platform that you can jump into. You know, your splash page will have events and courses that get loaded up and put into the system for, you know, anybody to register for. So it's really nicely laid out and easy to kind of work your way through. Jay mentioned before that there's a big list of courses and things that you can pull up through your transcript. So I actually logged into my my transcript earlier today to grab a couple of screenshots, but you can see it lists all of the courses you've registered for. It has your, you know, your status, if you've completed the course, if you're still taking it. So it's really easily laid out. You can actually click in any one of these courses to open them up. And I have a couple more just real quick shots of that in a second here. But you can see even just from the 5 that I got a snapshot of, you know, there's work experience credits, there's nutrition and gaming, how to make an impact on campus with stakeholders, developing, you know, personal and team values. So the range of topics and sessions that you can register for and learn from, it covers, I think, a ton of different key areas and actually running your esports program on the day-to-day basis. So it's a great way to, you know, get your feet wet in a lot of different subject areas all in one place. So I really like how things are laid out. And you know, it's easy to manage and kind of work through. When you do actually click into a course, you know, it'll bring you to kind of like that courses splash page where you have, you know, like Jay mentioned, the PowerPoint, notes, video, and quiz. So I just went into NAECAD 663, which is building an esports team and some of the key elements there. So, you know, when you open it up and you want to, you know, look at the slides as the video is playing, or as, you know, you're going through this unit, you can actually, you know, follow right along with whoever's presenting and see their material, whether it be the PowerPoint or actually like the typed up notes that they've provided. So this is really great because a lot of times, you know, when I've got 10 minutes here or a half an hour there, you can jump in and out of these classes and kind of go at your own pace. which is really great. And the ability to kind of have all of this as reference material afterwards. Even though I've already finished this course, I can come back to it and reference it later. I think that's a really awesome tool that you can have in your toolbox if you need to, get a refresher or kind of revisit some of these ideas. This class, the video that comes with it, our good friend Callum Fletcher over at Illinois Wesleyan, his presentation and his thoughts are right there in the video format. And it's fully accessible, and you can actually go through, like I said, watch at your own pace, and work through it. And then the easy, quick little quiz at the end. Like Jay said, you can retake it if you don't pass, or if you want to get a better grade, or like I said, just want to get another refresher. You can run through that. It's really easy. You can see your results. I didn't pull those up in a screenshot, but you can actually check your results, and it'll tell you exactly which questions you got right or wrong. And you can kind of look at, okay, maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention on the second watch through of, when Callum's talking about this area of the presentation. So it's a really easy platform. And I think one of the coolest things is you can do it on your phone, which is really awesome. It's not always easy to sit down at a computer for half an hour and run through a course, or, if you're traveling like me, all over the place, it's nice to be able to sit in an airport and kind of scroll through classes. So it's a really flexible platform. I'm really excited about the fact that, there's a ton of different categories of classes out there. And it was one of the biggest reasons why, when ByteSpeed looked at, making an official partnership with NAECAD, we wanted this to be accessible to more people. So, in talking about what our partnership looks like, Gravity Gaming and ByteSpeed, alongside Microsoft, coming in and partnering with NAECAD, we wanted these amazing resources and tools to be able to be in as many people's hands as possible. So what we did, and kind of what we're really excited to announce and push forward now, is that ByteSpeed is sponsoring 100 memberships to the association over the next year here, for people to be able to experience that learning platform. We're actually going to give them all 10 credits to be able to get a level 1 certification. So you can actually, from day one, jump into 10 of any class you want. So from that big list of 35 that Jay was talking about, and 100 later down the road, you can actually go in and take classes in the areas that you need the most help with, or that you're most interested in, and be able to start learning from day one. So we're really excited that, we can bundle both the membership itself, but also some of the professional development right in there with it, with your membership. And the coolest thing, and kind of one of the things that we wanted to do is make this really, as low barrier to entry as possible. And what we hear a lot on the ByteSpeed side of things is, when new programs come to us and they're saying, hey, I need to get hardware from you, because we need to outfit our facility. But then they're asking us questions of, where do we go to learn this? Or how do you set up your program? How do you run practices? All of these extra things. So we wanted to make sure that, if you're a new program, especially, and you're starting from scratch, you have the resources and tools at your fingertips to be able to jump in and be effective. So with the purchase of 5 computers, and that's, definitely just a minimum, you can actually get all of this amazing professional development and access to NAECAD right from the get-go. So we've already, had some people come to us and say that they're interested in this program. And like I said, there's just a ton of benefit to being able to joining an association like this. And I know myself and Microsoft and ByteSpeed, we're all really excited to, like I said, just get the resources in the people's hands that need them. And I think NAECAD fills a really important role, and it's a really valuable group of people that you can absolutely learn some incredible things from. And with people like Jay at the helm, steering it in the right direction, I think it's got a bright future. And it's something that we wanted to really invest in and make sure the association was successful long-term as well. So we're really excited about it. And we want to make this as easy as possible to getting memberships out there and helping people, jump into NAECAD. Jay, anything else to add as far as kind of what you're hoping that we kind of get out of the partnership and one of the reasons why we kind of set things up the way we did?
Yeah, no, I'm like I said before, I just think this is a great way of getting young professionals, and I keep saying young, I mean, not every professional has to be young to get into it, but with the need for experience and the need for learning, this just makes a whole lot of sense, because Gravity Gaming by ByteSpeed, they're out on the ground talking to high schools and colleges that are either investigating or looking to actually start programs, and to be able to offer the professional development as a part of this just makes a whole lot of sense. And what we're excited about at NAECAD is not only this entry part and being able to offer courses to get professionals up to the learning level 1 certificate, but once we're confident that once these professionals get into the association and they see the real benefit of being able to network with other professionals and having colleagues that they can call on. I know, Josh, from your experience, that there were many times that you would call Dana at Grandview and you would talk, and you would call Callum in Illinois, and that's just the way it is. I mean, all these people that are doing great things in their university programs, it's no different in any other sport. Coaches rely on each other to grow and to learn. And what we think will happen with this partnership is that we're going to get 100 professionals that are directing programs, and they're going to be well served by what Josh and Anna and their company and Microsoft can provide. And then they're going to get a part of this association. They're going to start to meet other people that are doing the exact same thing that they're doing at the high school and college level. And then it's just going to, help them be successful. And that's really what we're about. So that's probably the greatest part about it. We get them introduced, and then they grow into it, and they just continue to add to the association, because it is a member-driven association.
Yeah, absolutely. Opening the door and letting people be successful. And I think NAECAD is a great place for that to happen. So we're really excited and honored to be able to finally get this, announced to the public. We've been working on it for a couple of months, and I'm just really excited that, we can start offering these opportunities to people, whether it's a new program, an existing program, people that have been doing it for a while, but haven't maybe jumped into the association yet. We're really excited to make those introductions and to get these memberships and courses out there, and let the learning start. So just want to say thanks to Jay for being here and helping to kind of bring the 3 companies here together and be able to make this happen. So, with that, I just want to open it up for any questions, if we have any, from those that are watching us live here. If you have questions about NAECAD or about this partnership opportunity with ByteSpeed, please feel free to throw them in the chat, or if you're watching the YouTube video, put them in the comments or email us at info@bytespeed.com, and we'd love to answer those in any way we can. We'll give people a chance here to type out some questions. I just want to say, Jay, is there anything else that you'd like to add to kind of close here? I know we covered a lot.
Yeah. I think one thing I could mention is, just the value of the scholarship that, that Gravity Gaming by ByteSpeed and Microsoft are offering. We've tried to keep the cost low for membership. Right now for a professional membership, it's $150 for the membership year. And most of the sessions in the certification program are right around $30. And so, this scholarship that you're offering, has around a $450 value, to this partnership, and it's quite a commitment that we've made as a partnership here to really provide that learning and give access to that learning, and that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. We did have a question from Chris. Hey, Coach Bilski, plans for the Grandview Clinic this year?
Yes, no, that's good. We're actually going to be sending out our newsletter this week with a save the date, but as of right now, we are planning on doing it virtually for sure. But if things would happen to break where people feel like we can travel safely and we could hold it face to face, we still are planning on doing it face to face. But there's definitely going to be a virtual version. And just like a lot of things that we're doing at our campus this year, we're working out of a high flex model that even if we do have things face to face, we will be offering it live stream at the same time, and then we'll be lecture capturing the sessions if you cannot attend in person. If the cases, stay high, throughout the winter, and we just can't do it face to face, we feel that we can put on a really nice virtual clinic. We've already got a good roster of sessions that we're going to be able to provide, and we know it's going to be our biggest ever. So either way, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the first weekend. It'll be the Friday and Saturday for sure. If we go virtual, we might add Thursday, just because there'll be more flexibility as far as being able to attend, and with the number of sessions that we can offer, we might expand it.
Awesome. Any other questions from those that are joining us here tonight? I just want to say once again, thanks to Microsoft for joining us and sponsoring not only the esports partnership here with NAECAD, but also formally being introduced for the first time as the sponsor of the webinar series. So big shouts to Microsoft for that, and thanks again to Jay for joining us tonight. I speak on behalf of ByteSpeed. We're really excited, and like I said, we're honored to finally be able to announce the partnership, and we're really looking forward to helping a lot of people over the course of the next year and maybe longer. So thanks again for joining us here tonight and kind of sharing your passion for NAECAD and letting us know a little bit about what the association is and why it's worth joining. So I really appreciate you taking time out of your Tuesday night.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you and all that you're doing, and as well as Anna and Microsoft as well. And just to be able to enter into this partnership, we hope it is a very long lasting, not just 1 year, but decades. So thanks again. And we're looking forward to seeing all the scholarships that you're able to hand out this year.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's it for us, everybody. Thanks again for joining us for Esports Ed. Have a safe Christmas holiday, and we'll be back the first week of January with, I think our next session will actually be Dana Husted from Grandview University talking about how to run esports events and things like that. So watch for the emails that go out in our social media posts, and thanks again. Take care, everybody.